Many theme parks here in the UK have been giving us some super exciting updates, with a new ride name revealed, construction, ride reopenings, and overpriced behind the scenes tours. Universal Studios Orlando have just opened their brand new theme park, Epic Universe, and it has been surprisingly quiet for an opening week, and there's been tons of new roller coasters and rides opening their gates for the first time and being announced, including this thing. Right, it's been an exciting week because all that and even more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, welcome back to the only consistent series I have ever created. This past week in theme parks, where we take a look at the news in the amusement and leisure industry in the previous 7 days. And as you can tell by the intro alone, there is a lot to talk about. So if you want to skip to specific stories, use the video progress bar chapters below. And use that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do this series weekly, obviously, and these videos do take some time to research and create, so any support would be greatly appreciated. Right, so the past week, what has happened? A lot has happened. End the video now. Well, the video wouldn't be that quick if I had to talk about all these stories for hours upon end. We'd be here for millenniums. Let's prevent that by quick firing through a lot of these stories. Let's do this. Lagoon Amusement Park have opened their brand new area, the District, to guests for the first time, and this includes a very steampunk looking themed area with rides. Rides at a theme park? Would you believe it? Snoopy's Racing Railway at Carowinds has opened as well this past weekend. A classic junior coaster that has one of the best trains of all time. And that coaster goes from 0 to 50 kilometers an hour in a matter of seconds. That sounds intense. Wrath of Rakshasa over at Six Flags Great America hasn't opened, but has had its opening day announced, but did open for previews. That was very confusing. There's been a lot of reviews coming in saying it's great, and a lot of videos showing that it's got the classic B&M joltiness to it. When will we ever see a smooth B&M open nowadays? Oh wait, one apparently has over at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge, their family B&M inverted roller coaster with 2 lift hills, by the way. That opened for previews last week and it is opened properly now, and everyone seems to be saying it's quite smooth. Have we reached a turning point in the B&M Rough saga? I dearly hope so, but I'm kind of doubting it. Hersheypark have also opened their brand new ride for 2025. Let me just search the name of it because I always forget, as I said last week. Twizzlers Twisted Gravity, the world's tallest S&S scream and swing, elevated by concrete. And again, from the review or two that I have seen, people are very much enjoying that. It's a swing that swings. A new theme park is opening next to an F1 track known as COTALand has been busy building their new Gerstlauer roller coaster called Palindrome, and this is a very strange coaster because it goes up the lift hill, goes down the drop, and then goes through a switch track turntable section, not straight away, and doesn't stop and spin round because that would be painful. Goes around a bit of its layout and boomerangs back to that point at the bottom of the drop and then switches to the station. Very strange layout, sounds like a lot of fun, and here's an image of that being built. This time, not from a NASCAR race CCTV. Talking of Formula 1 tracks and Formula 1 in general, I thought it might be worth mentioning this. Formula 1 has now partnered with Disney. Obviously, this could literally be for merchandise and have nothing to do with the theme park side of things. Mickey Mouse could step in for Lance Stroll at Aston Martin, and he'd probably still be better. But could this partnership see some future attractions maybe in the Disney parks, even in Disney Abu Dhabi, that link towards Formula 1? I don't know. Something we do know is still technically on topic because it's about Disney and cars. The new Cars Land at Magic Kingdom in Florida has been being constructed already, controversially replacing the Rivers of America in Frontierland. Six Flags, though, they have laid off presidents of 2 different parks, which I don't really know why they're doing that, but it just seems to be another Six Flags cut, as was the demolition of Kingda Car, which celebrated its birthday on the 21st of May. Almost 20 years old it would have been, and it showed us some really good dance moves on its birthday, as you can see. No, it still feels too soon for that. On that site, though, there is no further update on what will be replacing it in 2026. We also got a look around the brand new Six Flags Quiddiya park coming to Saudi Arabia, and from every single shot I have seen of this theme park, it just doesn't look real. Just the scale of some of the buildings in this park and some of the rides as well, and of course that massive Falcon's Flight Airtime Hill is just huge. And I'm still very surprised that construction is actually nearing a close, because I thought this project was done for literally after the first concept came out. Dollywood have made an announcement saying that a brand new ride is coming in 2026 as we're going to take flight in 2026. This could be anything. It could be a brand new ride, it could be a brand new roller coaster, or what it seems most likely to be, a flying theatre, which I really hope is not as bad as the one that opened at SeaWorld. Busch Gardens Williamsburg have started doing surveys much like their Orlando parks, asking what people would like to see in the future, and they used AI images, and this was one of them. Where do I recognise that from? But in all fairness, if Busch Gardens Williamsburg got a Max Striker, I'd be well impressed. Something I was impressed by was Millennium Force at Cedar Point and how fast it's running up its lift hill now. Of course, it did valley the other week, and this week it's been running so fast up that lift hill. Look at it. God, blink and you'll miss it, guys. The world's steepest drop on a roller coaster on TMNT Shellraiser, by 0.5 degrees might I add. That coaster has been closed for a long period of time, and the maintenance has been set back yet another period. It's been closed for over a year now. I don't know if it's ever going to reopen. At least Takabisha can have its record back for now after that jammy steel. Hollywood Drift over in Universal Studios Hollywood has had its trains delivered and now uncovered, showing a very strange livery. I don't really know what to think of them, really. I don't know if that's actually the ride train's colours or if that is just some camo livery so no one knows what it looks like. But yeah, it looks a bit odd, but I'm here for it. I don't know if this counts as a roller coaster or not, but this video has been shared online recently and I am terrified. Is it a cred? Who knows? Disneyland Shanghai are already busy constructing their new Spiderman themed land. Considering they dug a singular hole last week, they have done this much already in a week. What has happened to Disney recently? Absolutely flying with construction, unless it's in Paris. Over in South Korea, Lotte World Adventure has announced a Kong x Godzilla The Ride, a world's first monsterverse ride, I don't know what that means, and will take riders through a thrilling adventure of Kong's newfound kingdom, and it's going to open in December 2025. Warner Brothers World in Abu Dhabi have teased a brand new expansion to their park, Harry Potter World, which is said to be more immersive than Epic Universe and Universal and feature 2 to 4 rides, opening between next year and 2027. I wonder why they chose now to announce that. Well, the reason for that is of course because Epic Universe in Orlando opened its doors for the first time to guests in general. Like I've said in previous videos, they've had previews for general guests and pass holders, so I don't really know how to explain opening day. But they had loads of fireworks and like a grand opening ceremony, and if you want to see more about that day, then link in top right, because I made an entire video about it, because it's obviously a very important moment in theme park history, with Universal Great Britain even getting a mention in there as well. Yes! But that opening date did come, and it was an amazing opening date by the sounds of it. Ministry of Magic experienced a lot of downtime on that first day. I think it was down for like 3 or 4 hours at once after it being on a 300-minute wait, and you'd expect with a 300-minute wait on that one ride that all the other rides are probably heaving as well. There wasn't a queue that was over half an hour round the rest of the park, and that has been the case for every single day since opening and on opening day, because they appear to have capped the park tickets that were sold for these days so that everyone can just have a really good experience. I was literally seeing 10-minute queues for Stardust Racers, 10-minute queues for Monsters Unchained. Like, that is just godlike. And I really do think Universal capping that tickets to make guest experience a lot better was actually the good option. But that means in the future they will be increasing the capacity and it's going to get a lot busier, but fingers crossed not. The park looks amazing and I cannot wait to go in September. But somewhere I'm going to go right now, live in this past week in theme parks, is here in the UK, because there's been closures, reopenings, and even some announcements and construction too. Let's get into it. First of all, starting at Alton Towers, where we have some interesting news. Closures of some rides in CBeebies Land. Get Set Go Treetop Adventure and Postman Pat Parcel Post Ride, I think it's called, are going to be closing on Tuesday the 3rd of June, and that's going to be a very, very sad day. Although Get Set Go is reopening in early July, so that one's not quite as sad. But that is of course to make way for that new world's shortest roller coaster that they're building. Chessington World of Adventures have submitted planning applications for a new lorikeet lagoon location. The little bird enclosure that was in Wild Asia that you could walk through and have these birds that you could feed them as well if you paid extra, and it was a really nice little walkthrough. They're now moving that because of the new Minecraft land, and it's going over nearby Zoofari where the flamingo enclosure is. Nearby Zoofari at Chessington, there is of course that new Paw Patrol themed area going in, and footers have been spotted for that new roller coaster on site. Prepare yourself for that lift hill, turn, helix, and turn back into the station. The park has also offered brand new VIP behind the scenes experiences for Mandrill Mayhem and Tomb Blaster. Tomb Blaster is £75 before annual pass discount. I don't think that's too bad for that, but Mandrill Mayhem's behind the scenes is £150. What? What is there to see behind the scenes of Mandrill Mayhem other than the maintenance shed? Everything else is just what you see anyway. I personally don't know how £150 justifies that, but people are going to pay it and it'll probably sell out. Don't worry, we still have one very overpriced behind the scenes tour at another park that I'm yet to talk about later in this video. Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach have opened Leo's Jungle Journey, their new jungle bus looking thing. Oh, doesn't it look incredible? Gold Rush at Drayton Manor, after various different problems such as valleying and valleying again, has finally reopened after that period of downtime, and it is running very well since. Thorpe Park have had some updates to Hyperia once again, not only with it celebrating its first birthday. Happy birthday, Hyperia. Look at this lovely video Merlin put up. Oh, who's that? So they've also added some new bracing on the bottom of the trains of each seat. Apparently it's still just as rough, so I would believe that's just for weight or something. And the splashdown on that ride seems to have had a lot of work done to it, which hopefully means it will return at some point soon. Although I think I've been saying that for the past 8 years now. Something very exciting at Thorpe Park as well that has happened recently is the reopening of Stealth, their signature intimate accelerator roller coaster. It's finally back. After a lot of downtime, I think it's been months now since it last opened. We saw this ride and Rita at Alton Towers both close. Rita already reopened, and now Stealth has too. It was quite funny actually, because the day after my previous episode of this series, after saying Stealth is still closed, what's happening to it, I actually went to Thorpe Park, did a Colossus lift climb, which there'll be a video out on soon, and whilst we were walking over, Stealth did start testing, and that was really nice to see, and it's good to see it back open. Need to go and ride it, because I feel like I haven't in about 8 years or so. Thorpe Park have also had their beach renovation plans completely approved now. A brand new stage and seating area is going to be there, and it's going to be a much needed upgrade of that beach, and I'm happy to see that approved. And then we head up north to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or Pleasure Beach Resort, or Pleasure Beach Lancashire, where there's a few overpriced things that have happened, and also some very exciting things that have happened. First of all, last week we spoke about the fact non-rider tickets were coming back to the park. It's been so long, you know, you used to be able to get in for free and you could just wander around the park, or even you could get in for about £5. A little ticket, get in, just not go on any of the rides, but you're still just in the park having fun. Well, a non-rider ticket now for Blackpool Pleasure Beach is £25. Who the hell is paying that? A wristband ain't much more than that. It's crazy, I don't understand it. But that's not the only thing that they are overcharging for, because they've also announced a Valhalla behind the scenes tour, which would be incredible. I would love to see that behind the scenes. And then I found out it's going to cost £250. And you don't even get park entry with that. Again, I understand the park situation. They need to make money, especially with this Gyroswing, but come on. £250. But they are doing some really cool stuff with that new Gyroswing I just spoke about, because not only has construction started in the area that it's going to be in, you can see the Bowlerdrome and that sort of building behind it started to be demolished, and it's very much looking a lot more open now there. Obviously the ride will probably swing towards Infusion and then towards like the other side of the big one, because if you swung it through towards the sea, it would easily hit the big one supports. But that is going to be a crazy ride, and we don't have to call it the Gyroswing anymore, because they've actually gone and announced the name of this ride, that being Invictus, with this golden snake sort of vibe, with this like cyan colour in there as well. I really like it. It's very much a similar style to Icon, which I do really like as well, so it's sort of tying that in, but from a distance, obviously. And the name does sound really good. At first, I thought it was Evicted, and I was like, have they not paid off their loans yet? But when I actually decided to read English properly, Invictus did sound like a really cool name, so I'm very excited for that. I think whatever name this Gyroswing had I'd be excited for it. Low-key at Leesburg is one of my favourite flat rides, if not my favourite flat ride in the world. So the fact we're getting one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach that's potentially going to swing really close by these roller coasters and have quite a cool view off to the sea and the whole park, it might be one of the best flat rides in the world, which is crazy thinking that it's at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but I love that for them. What do you guys think to all of this news that I've covered today? What has been your favourite piece? Leave it in the comments and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.